Do you ever wake up to a new day and feel like you're living the same one on repeat? If so, please stick around, I've got something for you. Hello Ramblers of the world, I'm Chris, the Mindset Wingman, and thank you for joining me on another Mindful Ramble where we talk all things mindset reset and how it aligns to our journey through life. And as we say, every journey has a story. Let's go! And before we get onto the subject of the autopilot trap, as the subject for today, we'll also be out looking for some albino squirrels that I've been told live around about here. And as I just showed you in the intro, where I am just now, there's these rather strange looking things. 1, 2, 3. If you've got any idea what they are, please comment, let me know. So today is all about the autopilot trap and how easy it is to fall into that. Now, there's no judgment here. We all know how busy life can be, and with building a career, having families, relationships, life in general, life does get busy, and it is very easy to fall into that trap of every day repeating itself and repeating itself and repeating itself. Now, one thing to say first and get very clear is we're all different. Now, if you have got a 9 to 5, you've got the family, but you wake up every morning and you smile and you're happy with your life, you know, that's great, fantastic. We don't all want the same thing. Some people are more than happy with that, and I know, and I speak to plenty of people who do exactly that, and they're happy, and they're really happy in their life. However, as I said, we're all different, and some people don't. They want something else in life. They want to create something unique for themselves. But unfortunately, when you fall into the autopilot trap, it can be very difficult to find the time to work towards it. So what do we do? First things first, and probably the most important aspect of this whole thing is awareness. You have to be aware of where you are now and where you want to get to. So if you have noticed that you have fallen into this life, this autopilot kind of life where you get up, same thoughts, same frustrations every single day, and you're just not happy, you're not fulfilled, then you need to do something about it. And the first step is that technique of being aware of it. And then once you're aware of it, then you can decide, yes, actually, I'm quite happy with what I'm doing right now. Or no, there's something else I want to create. And I believe everybody is born with a purpose in life, and that is part of the awareness piece. So it's being aware that you have fallen into this autopilot way of living, and then deciding, nope, this is not for me, and there is something else that I want to create in my life. There's something else that I want to do with my life. Now, I get it, we're all busy, as we said before, and we have responsibilities, we have careers, we have things that we need to do in our life, so it's not that easy. We can't just suddenly change life overnight. You know, these things take time. So how do we go about doing it? I'll move on to that in a second, because I've just walked into the area where I think the albino squirrels are. Now, I know for a fact, just in here, because I was down here not long ago, and there is a fox living in there with a wee family, I think. They came running out last time. But up here, in these trees, I think is where this squirrel family live. I just heard something, so I'm just going to keep my eye out. I think it's up there, so we'll see if we've got any luck today and we find them. If not, I will come back and we'll keep looking. It's a challenge that I'm not going to give up on. I am going to find them, and I'm going to get them on camera at some stage so you can all see them. but they're definitely here somewhere. Something I love to do is, I love going out, as you know, mindful rambler. I love to get out in the countryside and walk around, and one of the benefits of that is seeing all the different wildlife that you can do in different countries. Hopefully I'm in the UK just now, so oh, that's a pheasant I think. So I'm not hearing much just now, I'm afraid, so I might have to pop back later. If anybody's got any special techniques they know or use to attract squirrels, let me know. Get your nuts out, yeah, I suppose that's one of them. I mean obviously edible ones. No, there's nothing here just now. Anyway, going back to the subject. So as I said, everybody I think is born with a purpose. And before you can, if you have fallen into that autopilot trap, there's definitely something up there. Hello squirrels. Once you do fall into that way of living, it's not easy to get out of it, and I get that. We are very busy. Life has many challenges and things that we've got to deal with. So, as I said before, the step one, awareness. Once you have that and you decided, yeah, I do need to change, this is not the life I wanted, I don't feel fulfilled, I'm not happy anymore. As I said, you can't just change it all suddenly overnight. But what you can do, and this is one of the most important actions you can ever take in life, is you can just stop, take some time out and really review what you're doing just now in your life. Now again, I know there will be things that have to get done. There's material things as we get older that we have responsibility for, and we have to do them. You can't just suddenly walk away from your job, you walk away from your responsibilities. But what you can do is you can review everything you're doing now, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of things that you're doing in this moment that are not benefiting you, they're not benefiting anybody else that's close to you, but because of you falling into this autopilot way of living, then they just feel natural, you just do them really subconsciously without even really thinking, and that's the problem. And really they're just wasting your time. So you can list everything down that you're doing, and also, as I said, there'll be things there that you have to keep doing, and that's fine, you keep doing them, but there will be things that you can stop. There'll be things that you can just decide, I don't know why I'm doing them, I've been doing them for months, years, and I really don't know why, and just stop. And this will just free up some time, and this time you can then use to start changing your life and start working your way towards where you do want to get to, and more importantly, moving away from autopilot living. And it's as simple as this. So you've freed up this time, and then you can look at, right, what is the purpose? What is it I want to get out of life? How do I want to change the way I'm living just now? Decide what that is, make that decision. And again, it's another thing that we do fail to do a lot when we are living on autopilot, is decisions, we just stop making them because every day is so busy with this way of living. We struggle to make those more important decisions that will affect our future. So this is your time to make that decision and go, right, this is what I need to do. And then I'm not talking about doing every single one right now, today or this week. It's just choosing a few small, simple actions that you can now take today, but the type of actions that are going to move you towards where it is you want to get to. Where do you see your life, for example, in 1 year or in 5 years? Now you might say to me, 1 year, 5 years, that sounds a heck of a long time. It's not. Time flies past. If I think back to just 5 years ago, it's scary how quickly that time comes in. So try not to focus on this time frame. Just decide on the different actions that you're going to take, and these will then start moving you towards where you want to get to in life. So this is what the message I wanted to get across today, apart from obviously trying to find the albino squirrels, which do seem to be hiding very well from me, but one day I will find them, trust me. But the message today really is, if you have noticed that your life has just turned into that autopilot living, you wake up every single day, new day, but it just feels like a repeat of the same day and the same day, and you're not happy, you're not fulfilled. And the first thing is the awareness. Just notice exactly what is going on, exactly how you're feeling, exactly how you're living. Then once you've done that, just decide, what is my purpose? What is it I want to get out of life? And then from there, you can review everything you're doing, cut out the stuff that just isn't benefiting you anymore, and fill those gaps that you produce with these new actions that will move you slowly but surely towards where you want to get to in life. So if you want to get out of the autopilot way of living, that's how to do it. Now I hope you have found today's video beneficial. Sorry we didn't get to see the albino squirrels, but we will at some stage. And if you have any comments on that or any queries on that, please share, let me know, and I will do all I can to answer them. And as always, I would be incredibly grateful if you could like, subscribe, share and comment, as it really does help me build this channel bigger and better. And I would be incredibly grateful if you could, as I build my YouTube community. And I'll see you all again next time, and it may well be back down here for another mindful ramble. Stick that in your journal.